Gavel us in for the Village of Villa Park Garden Village Commission for our regular meeting. Today, November 20th, 2025, at 7:01, something like that. At least, it's hard to see that clock all the way from back here. So I'm going to call us to order and take a roll call. And Steve Della Rosa, I am here.
Patrice Gallagher, I am here.
Lynn Smith, present.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Next order of business is public comments on agenda items. I'm going to ask the public that's here if you would like to comment on agenda items. No comment, no public comment on agenda items? Okay, then I would move to the next item, which is number 3. We're rolling. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have questions?
Sorry, Commissioner Smith.
Commissioner Smith, go ahead.
I just wanted to back up to item 1, call to order roll call, that we do have 2 commissioners who aren't present.
Right. Pete Soltis is absent, and Renee Alvarez is absent also. That's a good point of order. Commissioner Smith, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and also we have, I should mention that our board liaison, Tina Constatos is absent as well, and our staff liaison, Tim Howe, is not with us, but our village president is here, Kevin Patrick, to observe our proceedings. So we will continue on with that. So how about public comment on non-agenda items, since we're blazing through the agenda? Did you want to speak? Can you tell us your name?
Could go right up to the podium over there.
If you want to come up and use the wonderful electronics that our village has provided us, that'd be wonderful. Just tell us your name.
Jennifer Emmert. I live on Euclid Avenue, right around the corner. I just wanted to, I guess, bring up.
Can you speak closer to the microphone?
Yeah. So with the building of the recreation center, two of the trees back over here were taken down. One of them was in our backyard, and I was wondering if there's going to be an opportunity to plant more trees in replacement of the 2 that were taken down. So I just don't know if there's been any talk or if there's a landscaping plan that has that in the future and whatnot. But I would like, since it was taken down, to be replaced with more trees.
Jennifer, can I ask what your last name was again?
Emmert.
Emmert, can you spell that for me?
E-M-M-E-R-T.
E-M-M?
E-R-T.
Emmert.
Yep.
Okay, there's no S.
No.
Okay. Well, let me try and answer that question. That's something that really isn't germane to the Garden Village Commission, but our staff liaison, who would normally be here,
Yes.
would be the perfect person for you
Yes.
to get an answer from. And he's on vacation, doesn't return till Monday of next week.
Okay.
But he's on staff here at this building, and his name is Tim Howe. And if you could call him directly and reach out, he can probably provide you with an answer.
Yeah, no, I've talked to him already. We were supposed to meet, but that's why I came here today, to see if he was here, but he wasn't, so.
The follow-up, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Trustee Gallagher?
Thank you. Are we allowed to ask questions at this stage of the game?
It's not, the public ask us questions. Did you have a point of order or something?
I have a clarifying question
Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
for Jennifer.
Oh, okay. Well, then you should ask her a question if you have
Okay, thank you. So Jennifer, I'm Commissioner Gallagher. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. This is how it works for Villa Park. Were you notified that a tree was going to be taken out of your yard?
No.
Only one tree was taken out of your yard?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, well, now I have to ask a question because was the tree you're talking about, was it on the property of,
It was in between both of the properties.
oh, like on the property line? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, then it is a Tim Howe question.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure of that. But thanks again. Okay. Kevin, did you want,
I'll address that during the village board liaison comments, if
Okay.
that's all right.
okay. Well, we appreciate you both for attending tonight, so we're going to keep on going down the agenda. If we don't have any further comments from any of the public that is here, and since you two are the only members of the public, I guess we don't. So let's move on to amendments to the agenda. That'd be item number 4. Does anybody have any amendments to the agenda that they would like to propose? Commissioner Smith?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Gallagher?
No, I do not.
Okay, then we will proceed to the consent agenda, which is basically made up of minutes from the previous meeting. So we only have, we don't have the minutes printed up from November, from that meeting on November 6th, because our staff liaison wasn't available to produce those minutes for us that were sent out. And because we don't have them available, I only have minutes from October 16th that were taken by trustee Gallagher. I'm sorry, Commissioner Gallagher. And I only have 2 copies. I'm thinking that maybe what we can do is I can provide Commissioner Smith with a copy and Commissioner Gallagher with a with a printed copy of her minutes, and we can go through them and we can make copies. We can make sure that these copies get posted before our next meeting, our next regular meeting. Commissioner Smith.
Commissioner Smith, I did have a chance to review these minutes prior to today. So I have no changes to the minutes, and
Okay. Commissioner Gallagher.
Which minutes are we talking about? Are
the
we on?
October 16th. from
Okay,
from
so are we
last
on the
regular
consent agenda number
Right.
5? Okay, so previous meeting, does that mean November 6th, our
Yes,
special meeting?
well, if you
session. It'll be October.
approval a minute, okay, yes.
So it should be October 6th.
We don't have a
Okay.
printed copy, like I stated earlier,
Right, right.
of the November 6th minutes. I only have the copy that I provided you here for October 16th. So we're just discussing October 16th.
Okay, I still want a clarifying question if I may. So I emailed the November 6th to everybody, and is this what, on consent agenda number 5, when you say minutes from previous meeting, does that refer to the November 6th?
Yes.
And then a consent agenda, since I'm newer to this, can we discuss these? Because, if we wanted to discuss them, because we do
If
have
you ha-
copies?
If you have a question regarding the minutes that we have in front of us from, we don't have November 6th in front of us.
Do we have to have it in paper in front of us, or can it be in our computer in front of us?
I guess what I'm thinking is that because we have October 16th printed in front of us, it's a document that we can act on. Since we don't have the November 6th minutes in print form to be able to talk about, that's something that we shouldn't vote on. We would be able to vote on these because we have them in front of us. But we don't have the November 6th minutes.
Printed.
Correct. And because we don't have a way to share those minutes in this form, I don't think we should discuss them. Commissioner Smith.
This is Commissioner Smith, I'd like to make a motion if we're done with discussions for the October 16th minutes to approve these minutes as written.
Can we get a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, a motion has been made to approve the minutes from October 16th, and has been seconded. So let's, all in favor?
Aye.
Everybody is in favor. So I think that qualifies as a pass. Commissioner Smith.
Thanks, Commissioner Smith, I'd like to make a motion that we table approval of the November 6th special meeting minutes until our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay, a motion has been made to table the minutes from November 6th. Is there a second for that
I
motion?
second that emotion.
Commissioner Gallagher seconds that motion. Can we take a vote on that? I guess I could say, is there any opposition to that?
Or just all in favor? Say aye.
Hearing none, then that motion would be approved.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have a physical record. Commissioner Smith and Commissioner Gallagher both approved those minutes, and I concur. So that has been passed, and that will be tabled for our next meeting. Are we okay, Patrice, with your note-taking?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, so, wonderful. Moving through the agenda. Old business will be our next order of business, and that would be a discussion of the Julia Avenue and Villa Avenue property, a formal recommendation to be discussed for that, in terms of designating that piece of property at the intersection that would be west of the intersection of Julia and Villa, to discuss making a formal presentation for that. And I've included in the documentation that you have in front of you a copy of the formal recommendation sheet, the cover sheet, that we are designated to use to turn this into an official formal recommendation. And this is the document that we have to use. And I started to do a little research on putting together the statement that would go along with it. And it's basically, this document is pretty straightforward in terms of turning this into a recommendation. And I came up with some language that, I guess, for lack of a better way, we don't have a way to, sure it'd be nice to have an overhead projector that basically you can put stuff on and say, okay, this is what we got, but that's not available. So I guess what I will do is, this document is basically just something that we could propose to do with the inclusion of the other members of the commission. I just put these words together to give us an idea of what kind of language we need to do to put this formal recommendation sheet together. Commissioner Gallagher.
Thank you, and thank you for your sharing. It's my position that we have discussed Julia and Villa Avenue enough for me to, I'd like to make a motion to formally recommend to the village board that the village-owned property parcel number, and I could speak it out loud if you want me to, located just west of Villa Avenue and north of Julia Drive, be designated as a natural park space, and this is only a designation that will ensure that this natural space remain a naturally protected, beautiful area in Villa Park.
Okay. Did you say that as a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to formally recommend. Yes.
Okay. Trustee Smith.
Okay,
Commissioner Smith, I'm sorry.
Sorry. So Commissioner Smith, I'd like to second the motion to make a formal recommendation to designate Julia and Villa property as a natural park.
Okay. So I have a point of order that I want to bring up.
Well, Steve, really quick, so you have a motion and a second, and so now you enter into discussion, not a point of order.
Okay. So what I would like to state is that I think we need to flesh out before us this whole formal page in terms of having all of the specific items that's requested by this format, because this is something that we need to bring to the entire village board. And we don't have all the information in terms of making that formal recommendation to the village board. I think the idea, we have before us in terms of wanting to get the designation for that space as a park place. And I'm 100% on that same page. But I think in order for us to present it so that the commission is fulfilling its responsibilities as the Garden Village Commission, we need to give our board the documentation that the board is requesting in order to provide them with the best information possible. And I don't think we're there yet. Commissioner Smith.
Yes, so it was my understanding that the motion that we made is that we were kind of in agreement that we want to proceed to the next step, which is doing whatever due diligence and research is needed so that we can complete the recommendation form, and which would mean, there's several different categories on here that would probably require some further research so that we can properly complete the form and submit it. So that was my intent in making the motion, that we move forward with, kind of move beyond just the discussion that we want to do it, and move forward with actually completing the form, getting the form completed, or delegating who's going to do, whatever research, so that our next action following that could be submitting the form.
Okay. Commissioner Gallagher.
Unless you want to, if you want to share.
I'll go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is a little bit complicated and confusing to me. This shows as a template. Is this required? Recommendation statement, 1 to 2 sentences, background, why this, blah, blah. Are these required? Okay, And so for us to make a motion and vote on a motion to just to designate this as a natural park space, are we allowed to do that? And then, is that what you were sharing, Lynn? Thank you.
Commissioner Smith.
So it's my
Excuse me,
understanding
Commissioner.
that the step would be, we have this idea, this concept, that we do want Julia and Villa property designated as a natural park. So then the next step would be to complete this, do our due diligence and then complete the formal recommendation cover sheet where we would have the information. Then when we're presenting this formal recommendation, it's with that idea, but you have to have this background information to present to the board before we can, to justify and support why we are proposing that it be designated as a national park. And then they vote on it. The board, village board would vote on that.
Thank you, that
Okay.
clarified it and helped.
Okay.
I would like to ask this, though. When we drove...
ahead, Commissioner.
Oh, thank you, sorry, thank you. When we drove for 2 hours all around, I feel that all the notes that we took and observations and discussion, that we could fill this out from that document, because we've already done that. Like, if I were to look at this now, I could probably fill it out right here and now, from just you and I physically.
Okay, President Patrick, did you want to contribute?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I apologize that I'm kind of butting in here. I think what's happening is that we're overanalyzing this process too much here. To kind of piggyback off of what Commissioner Smith is talking about, is that, there is a motion and a second to designate it as a park. You can actually vote on that. This then becomes the mechanism in which you can fill out. This does not need to be discussed necessarily at a meeting like this or your specific answers, because what happens is part of this formal recommendation then, once this is filled out and goes to the village board, then this public document will be part of the board packet when the board goes to vote on it. So you're absolutely able to vote on this in agreeance that if this is what the commission wants, and then the next step after if you were to approve it, then would be to fill this out, and then this would be given to your board or your staff liaison to be submitted to the board as a formal recommendation. So this is kind of like an afterthought. But when you are having discussions at your meetings, or to the notes that you said you've discussed prior to your point, Commissioner Gallagher, is that yes, you would use those to fill this out, and then that would be going to the village board. So it's still transparent, and the public eventually will see everything that you put in here as well when it comes to the village board. So this is just more or less a mechanism of keeping organized and structured, so that way the village board, when they get this, they can see, oh, I understand this process. I understand their train of thought. So,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't need to be complicated. It's just a tool. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarification, President Patrick. Okay, so then let's go back to the original motion. Can you restate the original motion?
Okay, I'm going to read it because I typed it up. I'd like to make a motion to formally recommend to the village board that the village-owned property parcel number 06-15-118-019, located just west of Villa Avenue and north of Julia Drive, be designated as a natural park space. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Trustee Smith, Commissioner Smith.
Sorry, I second the motion.
Well, you already seconded it before.
Oh, well, now we just need to vote on it. That's the next step.
Yeah.
Because we
Okay,
had done that initially, so now we need to have the discussion, now it's vote time.
okay. Well, you already seconded her original motion. I had just asked her to restate it. So she restated her original motion.
Now it's time to vote, so we can vote.
Okay, so, we're gonna go ahead and do the vote for this, for the motion as stated by, Commissioner Gallagher. So all those in favor?
Aye.
And I would vote that way too. So the motion passes, and we will proceed with formalizing our formal recommendation to the village board with all the pertinent documentation that we need to provide the village board so that we can present it to them. So, have you got that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I guess what I'd like to do is ask both of you commissioners to help work to flesh out the rest of the documentation that we need to provide for ourselves as a commission, so that we can take the so we can produce a formal document that we can use to present to the board. And I've started one, so maybe you guys can take pictures of what I've started, and we can discuss this individually to be able to create. I gave you each templates
Yes.
to work off of. And if you, let's see, how would we do that? I guess maybe we cannot do that, because that might be skewed as a
Yeah.
violation of the Open Meetings Act, so I don't think we can do that. I can't give you a picture, but, because basically, it's like, I filled out the information for the recommendation statement for the benefits to Villa Park, the alignment with the comprehensive plan, because those are the items that are called for that we should use to present to the village board. So I have that work done, so I'm just trying to eliminate double work, is basically my thought. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, so, we can work on it together, but ultimately, as a commissioner, we'll, send what we have to you, and you can review it, and at that time, if there's something that you want to add, you can do it then.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea, because you individually can
Yes.
look over the form, send it to me, and then we can incubate a document that way. And I can send you what I have individually, so that you can see what I have, and then you can work from there. And then maybe by, before, when we prepare our agenda, we can have a way to be able to have the finished document that we can bring to the full commission, so that everybody can see it as a document that we can use to present to the full board. What do you think, President Patrick, with that?
So the Open Meetings Act is pretty straightforward. The rule is no more than two. If you have more than two, that constitutes as a meeting. There's nothing that stops you from utilizing email to send that document to both of them at the same time. When somebody then replies to that email, that then becomes a meeting, because there's three. So when formulating an email, you can send out an email with your document or your notes saying, please review these, but don't respond to this email. So then at that time, then, for example, Commissioner Gallagher can make her own revisions or notes and send them back to you, or send them back to I'm sorry, Commissioner Smith, or whatnot. It's just when that email chain has a conversation going back and forth, that's when it becomes an Open Meetings Act violation. But don't ever be hesitant to share information. It's just when you start responding to those emails as a group, more than two, that becomes the Open Meetings Act violation. So I would recommend just share that document with the commission, and then you can assign whatever you want to any commissioner that wants to approve that, and then just one-on-one finalize that document and submit it to the board or staff liaison or myself.
Okay. Commissioner Smith.
Or we could, or Commissioner Gallagher and I could also meet up, because it's just two, and complete it. And once you email what you have to us, like, we wouldn't respond, but we can print that out, and then Commissioner Gallagher and I can meet up, complete it, and then just send it back to you. Now, would it then it have to be voted on by the commission at the next meeting, or can we just then present it to trustee Constados?
Go ahead,
Okay.
President Patrick.
So, no. Technically, just now, the commission has voted on it.
Okay.
So when you fill out the formal recommendation, then, as long as, there's nothing that says that you can't fill that out and then submit that. Nobody has to necessarily vote on that.
Great.
And just make sure that, like, a couple of the things in here is just list just the meeting dates that you've talked about this. If it's one meeting date, that's fine. If it's two or more, just write those down. It just shows that, that the commission has been discussing it.
And we do have those meeting dates from our previous agendas. So,
Perfect.
yeah, we'd be able to comply with that. Okay, is there any more discussion on this?
No.
Commissioners? Are we good? Okay, then let's move on, because I think that we are down to C, since we covered A and B, template formal recommendation cover sheet submitted for discussion approval. I think we just covered all that. So we're at C, which is planning for our December town hall. I'd like to firm up who can attend, who is going to be able to be manning the table for our town hall meeting. Commissioner Gallagher,
I
are you
would
going to be in
love,
town?
I would love to, and I never know if I'm going to be in town.
Okay.
Can you remind me of the date? Is it the 12th? Or?
It's December 12th?
It was just down there. It's the 12th?
Yeah, December 12th. Is that a Thursday? What is that? I have to
Friday.
look.
Friday.
I just looked it up. Let's see.
And it's coming up quickly. It's a Friday,
Oh, yeah, it's 6 to 9 on a Friday.
6 to 9 on a Friday, here with all the other commissions at the Recreation Center. So it's going to be a nice day set up for the village, where basically we're going to get, hopefully, be able to meet the public more in person. And
I already have it. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Commissioner Smith.
So I have it on my calendar already, so.
So does that mean yes, that you're going to
Yes,
attend?
I can attend.
Okay, so we have, Commissioner Smith has responded that she will attend. And Commissioner, Gallagher?
I'd like to modify, let's say 75% that I'll probably be here. I do want to make an effort to be here.
okay. Okay, I was just looking to see who my compatriots, am I correct that there is going to be food provided by the village? Go ahead, President Patrick.
Yes, it's going to be a really fun night. I mean, each commission is going to be present. They'll have their own table. It's going to be kind of like a trade show style, where you'll have swag to give away. I saw in the agenda here that if you want a brochure or something to hand out as well that explains like what the commission does, what you're working on, that's absolutely something that I think you should do too, if that's something that you'd like to do. But from 5 to 6 p.m., it's going to be open to the public, so the public can go to each table. And it's not just commissions. We have other local community organizations here, as well as some elected officials going to be present that have their own tables in which the public can come, introduce themselves, talk, find out what each commission is about, which table is about. From 6 to 6:45, we're going to have kind of the State of Villa Park, where we'll have some key guest speakers, and we'll also have a public Q&A. Right now on the village website, there's a link there where the public can submit their questions to be read at the public Q&A. After the speakers and the Q&A, from 6:45 to 7 p.m., the village is going to host a raffle with some pretty nice prizes that the public can win. There's going to be, I believe, 10 raffle tickets per family that comes to the event. And then also, too, we are still trying to collect food, canned foods or foods for the York Township Food Pantry. Anybody that brings in anything to donate as far as food goes will get an extra 5 raffle tickets for that raffle. But then from 7 to 9 p.m., there's going to be some live music from the band Liquid Fun. They were one of the bands that performed at Autumn Jubilee this month. And there will be free food while supplies last, and drinks. And so it'll be a nice evening to kind of get familiar with our commissions and our local community organizations. And then also kind of hear a state of the address, have some fun with a raffle, and then finish the night with some free food and some music.
Very nice. So I think the idea of asking for food donations for the food pantry is very nice. Also, to help stock up the York Township Food Pantry, and because its shelves have been very well utilized during this time period, and it'd be great to help them secure more food. I noticed both of you had your hands up, so I'm just going to go with Patrice here.
Are we going to discuss any of this? That is going to happen before our next meeting, formal meeting. Are we going to discuss? Well, I have 2 questions before that one. May I ask President Patrick a question?
Go right ahead.
President Patrick, how is the village notifying people or letting people know that this is?
Of Town Hall?
Okay, just Town Hall? Yeah, the Town Hall, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the village has done quite a few things. We've reached out to some local media outlets. It was also in the local papers, including the Daily Herald. If you are all on Roosevelt Road, by Simon's Restaurant, the big billboard also has an advertisement on that. We have it on social media as well as our village website.
Thank you. And then,
Okay, so you had 2 questions.
yeah, and the
so
other
get
part of
you-
that, is it your opinion that we need to discuss any of this before
Okay.
December 12th?
I think we're still involved with that,
Okay,
with that discussion.
thank you.
Commissioner Smith.
I have a question for President Patrick. Does the village have any resources to help us with the brochure, or a company that you work with, or someone that can help at least create a template for us so that we can get it printed out?
Absolutely. There is village staff that can do that. I can do that as well if you need help with that. I think the most important part is the message of who you are, what you're doing, and what you're all about. And if you put that into a pamphlet or even a flyer, that works. I know village staff and myself, we use a program called Canva that's very helpful with a lot of that. It's somewhat straightforward. So if you would like assistance with that, just let me know. I would just kind of formulate an idea of what you want your brochure to say, what you want included, and once you have that, we can easily put it into a Canva template and print that out.
Thank you, and that is actually, like, Canva is what, from the previous commission that I was on, that we used, where we actually had one of our junior commissioner, that was like his role. He would get our brochures together using Canva, so it's good to know we have that resource also in-house. So I can draft up, some template language and then just send it over.
Okay.
So who should that be emailed to, or should it go through the chair?
Everything should go through the chair.
Okay.
But what I would also do is CC, if you're emailing it, CC the board liaison and also the staff liaison as well, just so that way everybody's on the same page and with what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
And then who at the board should, Chairman De La Rosa, who should he send that to? Should that go to trustee Constados or someone?
Trustee,
well, I would send it along to staff,
Just that?
and
No.
Tim Howe would probably send it along to Brianna.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think Brianna is the person I've talked to before about doing graphics.
I'd just say make sure that you CC Trustee Constados, the board liaison as well.
Okay, but I could be wrong about it being Brianna, but yeah, if you were to put together some ideas for use, then the quicker you can get them together, the better, because then they won't be so rushed to try and get something put together for us to use, something that we'd have a chance to eyeball
Yes.
before it's produced, so that we can make sure it's doing what we'd like it to do as a commission. Because I think takeaways that we're going to have a chance. This is an opportunity for us to meet people from the village that could use what the commission is set up to do, which is to try and enhance the areas of our community with, like with public efforts to enhance gardening, to beautify the village, to use spaces within the town that are underutilized, that haven't been used, to do what they could be doing to attract pollinators, to basically provide better visuals for the town. And I think that that's our chance to interact with people that want to do that. Just as an aside,
So they can look. Okay.
okay, what's your question? Do you have? Did you want to?
No, just regarding 7C, planning for the December town hall, who can attend? Myself can attend, possibly Patrice. Do we need a brochure to use with our presentation? I believe we said, yes, we do. I'll draft it and then send out the template to you all for comment.
Are you going to use?
Individually?
Are you going to do it in Canva?
No, I'm just going to
just
come
gonna-
up with the wording, and then the village staff can
Okay.
then apply it to Canva.
Okay,
So,
Okay, yeah.
and then,
just send it to me and I will forward it
yes,
along.
and I'll work on this over the weekend. And then secondly, I did want to talk about confirmation on what we're going to give away. Is it going to be the seeds and honey?
They've already been ordered.
Okay,
We
great.
placed our order with the village last week because that was the deadline that we were working with. So basically, we're going to do something very similar to these. They're all perennial seed packets that we ordered. I think we ordered 200 perennial seed packets and 144 one-ounce bottles of honey that we're going to use as a promo. And if we had a brochure that talks about, what our mission is and how pollinators and having a perennial garden around your house, or just the things that we've been commission to do as a commission will go a long way. And just as an aside, this Garden Village Commission overview and purpose that was produced for the Garden Village Commission, I think is a good tool to use as a guideline
Yeah.
in terms of shaping
That's what I was.
what the brochure should state, in broad terms. I think it's a good tool. So, and then there's a lot, it's like a brochure, like our comprehensive plan has a lot of beautiful pictures of Villa Park, and it's like, there's good graphics and succinct.
I have some experience with putting brochure stuff, so thank
Okay,
you
then
for the
I'll-
feedback.
then I will
Yeah.
say no
All
more.
right, thanks.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm shutting up. That's it. It's 12 minutes to 8, so I'm gonna be, I began, I'm gonna try and be brief, and I'm already seated, so I won't go there. So that takes us to new business, since we've covered discussion about the town hall. And new business, I had put down on the agenda, a discussion about additional commissioners and junior commissioners to be brought on board. So I want to open the discussion up for that, because I think it's a good topic to begin to discuss. So,
This I'll
Lynn?
start, Commissioner Smith.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes, so first of all, thank you, Chairman De La Rosa, for adding this to the agenda. I think it's a very timely and important topic. As we look around, I do think that we should consider, move forward with the process for adding two additional commissioners.
Two additional
Two
commissioners.
additional commissioners.
And why would you say two, if you don't mind me asking?
Just based on the attendance that we've had to date and the participation since the inception of this commission, we really haven't had full participation, and I think it would be beneficial to have some other perspectives and more people involved, who are really committed and passionate about being a part of this commission, such as the three of us have demonstrated that we are. And in order to do that, you have to be present at meetings and come with your ideas, ready to roll up your sleeves and help.
I like the idea of rolling up your
Yes.
sleeves and digging in, because that goes a long way
Yeah. So-
to building something that's going to have an impact. And I think that's what we have
Because right now, we're almost like a commission of three, to be quite frank. And it was intended to be 5. And we really need to kind of move forward with adding 2 more. And a junior commissioner too would be nice, but I think the more pressing issue right now is to explore adding 2 additional commissioners. So that's my input.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Smith, I appreciate your frankness and your ideas for expanding the commission. Commissioner Gallagher, did you want to chime in with any ideas?
Ditto. And
Did.
I'm looking at the clock. And I
We
do.
are succinct.
I do have a question. My job takes me out of state often. I've been lucky that I just missed the first meeting. Could I get clarification on if I am allowed to join in on a meeting by phone if my job requires me to be out of state when we are having our commission meetings?
So, I believe, if I recall correctly, about what the Open Meeting Act allows, if we get, and President Patrick, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if we were to receive advance notification that you would not be able to attend the meeting, that we could set up a phone link or a Zoom for you to attend that meeting. Is that correct?
Well, there's a couple of things. Is first of all, your commission would have to vote. They'd have to discuss this. It'd have to be an agenda topic, and they'd have to discuss and then vote on whether or not the commission would allow for the commission, a commissioner to attend remotely due to a potential hardship or work included with that. However, there has to be a majority of the commission present at the physical location for that to happen. So, in this instance, if Commissioner Gallagher wanted to attend this meeting, but she was out of town, you would still need to have 3 of the 5
here.
commissioners present here. But even in order to get to that point, this is something that would have to be on an agenda, and the commission would have to discuss it and vote on whether or not the commission would allow to attend remotely due to hardships.
Well, it fits with new business, so that'd be a good ad for our next agenda.
Yes. Just a clarifying question, if I may.
Go ahead,
Thank you.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Thank you. So it's the commission that makes that decision via a vote, not a municipal requirement or the OMA.
Well, yes and no to answer that. The commission has to decide whether or not they would allow that.
Okay.
State law does allow you to do that. However, like I said, there are specifics in the law that require a majority of a quorum present at the physical location and some other things.
Okay. May I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Do you know, is there a requirement for, you said, advance notification? Is there a requirement for how soon that has to be? I don't have control over my boss who says, come out here. Okay. So is there, what is reasonable or advance notification?
So
What does that
basic-
mean?
I think you answered the question yourself already, because we have to get this placed on the agenda for our next meeting.
I'm making an assumption that it's
So-
going to pass.
So that's got to be the first thing,
Yes.
to get it on the agenda, and then hopefully we have a full quorum or full attendance so we can vote on it. Well, we have our 3 here tonight, so we would be able to vote on it. But if you're in December at our next meeting, which is going to be after the town hall, then we may not have a vote. So I guess the earliest that it could happen would be December at our next meeting, to be able to see if the commission agrees to be able to allow you to attend remotely, or any one of us
Remote, yeah.
to attend remotely. President Patrick, go ahead.
Thank you. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Gallagher, I think the question that you're asking is that if the commission does approve
Yes.
this and you need to utilize that, how much advance notice do you need prior to the meeting actually happening to allow that? And there, I don't believe, and I can look into this, I don't believe that there is any state statute that says there has to be a certain requirement of of notice of being remote. However, as much notice as you can give is appreciated, because then we have to arrange for village staff to make sure that we make accommodations for whether that to be Zoom or a phone call, or however you plan on attending that meeting remotely. So while there might not be any law that states that you have to give the commission or the public notice that you are not going to be there physically, I think it's more or less for logistics and planning ahead of time. So as much time as you can give in advance would be best. And again, I can get you the details on this when it comes up, maybe for your next meeting. But again, it's the real use for attending meetings remotely would be due to some sort of hardship, and employment falls under one of those as well. So,
Thank you.
Commissioner Smith.
This is a question for President Patrick. So do you know what the requirement is per Open Acts if a commissioner has missed, 3 or more meetings in a row without any notice? Or is there some type of recourse or expectation, that?
the expectation is that commissioners should be coming to their meetings. Now, I understand that life happens and problems arise. What I would do then is, if we're having an attendance issue, is that we should communicate that with the chair, and the chair communicates that with the board liaison and maybe the staff liaison, so that way we could then reach out to those individuals to see if there's something happening, if there's any extenuating circumstances or what have you. At that point, we can better determine what the next course of action would be. I don't believe the way that our current code is written that there's anything in there that says if you miss more than 2, you're out kind of thing. I will take a closer look at that, though. But I think for the first steps is, if that's the issue, then you could now I know. You could let me know, but work with your chair to work with staff and board liaisons, so that way we could communicate that. And then we could reach out to those commissioners just to make sure everything's okay.
So, in order to further speak to this point, it's spelled out in the ordinance, which empowers our commission. And in the ordinance, it says that if any member, and the ordinance was written using the Community Recreation Commission as an example, shall cease to maintain the status qualifying him for appointment to the commission, or shall fail to attend 3 consecutive meetings of the commission without being excused by a vote of the majority of the members of the commission. Such absence shall be considered as cause for termination of committee membership by the ordinance. So,
There you have it.
yeah, it's here in print, and it's like, I knew this would be useful. Documentation. So it's like, there's a tool, but hopefully our we've never had to take a vote to basically excuse anybody, or nobody has petitioned us to be excused. So hopefully we will be made whole by their attendance, by the future attendance of our commission members. So that's what I'm looking forward to, because it'd be great to have 5 plus 2 as opposed to 5. Because it's like, we're 3 now, missing 2. If you follow my thinking, that it'd be great to have more hands to do the work, is what I'm saying. So that's what I would look forward to. Is there any further discussion on new business. I mean, we were talking about additional commissioners, junior commissioners. I would also, I guess a final point would be to do outreach to the Villa Park Garden Club and members of the community that have publicly posted. There are some people in Villa Park. There's a member in Villa Park, Mark Paulson, who regularly posts YouTube videos of gardens around the community. And these YouTube videos are wonderful.
wow.
He goes out and finds places in Villa Park, like he just posted one of the library bioswale that's at the library. And he does a nice in-depth discussion about a place like that bioswale that can be duplicated in areas around Villa Park that doesn't have what that bioswale has, where addition of native plants that bring in pollinators, and this is kind of like getting into the weeds, no pun intended, but it's something that would help to beautify the village. And he does, he has this desire to talk about spots like this, and that would be naturally beautifying to the village. And I think if we reach out to people like Mark Paulson, people like members of the Villa Park Garden Club, who are already planning to do beautification events in different areas around the town, I think that'd be very useful to the work that we're trying to do as a commission, and to work with the already existing parks and recs. Because if we all work together, we can come up with some great ideas. So that's all that I want to say about that. And go ahead, Commissioner Smith.
So I might need some input from President Patrick. So regarding the budget, at what point would we talk about that? Can I have it where we put it on the next agenda? Or do you have to make a motion for that?
Can you clarify what you're talking
Oh,
about in terms of a budget?
it was my understanding we were supposed to have our budget numbers to present to trustee Constados, or is that something you do separately? Or do we do that as a commission for the budget?
I'm confused, because budget for what specifically?
The budget for that, for what we're going to need to, for what we have planned for.
For 2026?
2026, and that was something
Okay.
we talked about at the last meeting, that that trustee Constados had conveyed to us that we needed to present, because it's my understanding that that's kind of going on now, kind of talking about the budget, correct, for 2026?
Yes, we are smack dab in the middle of
Yeah.
budgeting season. So the sooner that we can get that information from the commission, the better. You don't necessarily have to make it, I would say, as long as you're abiding by OMA and you're communicating with each other, is that you don't necessarily have to discuss that at one of these meetings, because whatever you request or in your outline for that budget will ultimately go to the board again, almost like a formal, and it's basically a formal recommendation. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a dollar amount of how much money per year the commission needs to do the events or things that it wants to do, and then kind of outline what your plan is with that money, and then that's what you would submit. If you could do that sooner rather than later, though, because we are nearing that. Our last meeting in December, which is December 15th, I believe that's going to be. Let me see for sure. December 15th is the third Monday of the month, will be the very last meeting of the year, and that's going to be the last opportunity for the village to adopt a budget for 2026.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Thanks. Regarding that subject, so I'm looking at the whole year 2026. I'm thinking about the drive that Chairman De La Rosa and I took. It was very, very valuable. And we took copious notes. So gathering all information and all ideas that we have, which we haven't completed that. I don't even know if we've started it formally. Would we then choose these, what we feel is reasonable for us to accomplish in that year, and then do the research on what that would cost, and then present that to you for the number that we need to request?
So I think with budget season being in full swing here is that moving forward, a commission, best is to plan ahead, right? To plan for these things. So I think what might end up happening is that you might get a blanket dollar amount to start off with, and I'm just going to throw a random number out there, let's say $5,000, is that's what your commission might be allotted for the next year. And that's what you'd have to use to plan for that year. Moving forward, however, though, is if you know that you want to do more events or something that you need to ask for more, that is something that with the next budget season, leading up to that date, and I would say probably in October sometime, that's when you would make that presentation to the board or a recommendation. And the recommendation would mostly be to increase or decrease, it'd probably be increase the budget to X amount for these purposes kind of thing.
Okay, before I recognize Commissioner Smith, I'd like to ask a clarifier on that. So with what he just said, being taken as a baseline, if we had a proposed budget of $5,000, and in the course of next year's work, we came up with a project that we wanted to bring to the board, we would then be able to get all the figures together for that particular project and come to the board and present our case for additional dollars to be used for that project, and present that request to the board and allow the board to act on it. Would that be the case?
Yeah, and that could happen at any time throughout the year. Is if things happen, things come up, plans change. But if for any reason you find yourself going beyond your budget or wanting to go beyond it for specific reasons, is make a formal recommendation to the village board as to how much of an increase you're needing or how much you want and what it's for. And the template that you handed out today, just follow along that line as well. And then that would go to the village board, and then the village board would decide if they would allow that or not.
And, okay, before I recognize Commissioner Gallagher, speaking amongst us here as a commission, so we would be able to take that formal request template
Yep.
and use it to produce a way to produce funding through outside foundations, through gifts that we can maybe get from people in the community, something that we could also use as a proposal to take to the board for final approval.
So it gets a little tricky when you deal with donations, especially from municipal funds or what have you. That's a conversation that we'd have to have with our legal attorney to make sure that the funds that you are, if people are donating or something along those lines, that's something that we'd have to run by our village attorney to make sure that we're adhering to law. I can't really comment on that now because I don't know without that advice.
Does that cover foundations as well?
Again, I would have to refer to our legal counsel. Financing gets a little bit funny or a little bit difficult. I shouldn't say difficult, but a little bit, there are more
Hurdles.
laws in place regarding when a municipality takes in donations and how they do that. For example, one of the things, we have the CAR 321 project coming next spring. And that project is working with the Villa Park Historical Society, which is a 501c3. And people are able to donate money and funds to that 501c3 organization, that which then they can help donate to refurbish the car or do something along those lines.
Yeah.
But again, when it comes to the donations and portions of that, if you know of an entity that wants to donate, before they do it, we would have to talk with our legal counsel just to make sure, the ins and outs of that.
Okay. Okay.
So the-
Commissioner Smith.
So does that include sponsorship if we wanted, like if a local business wanted to sponsor one of our events? Would it work that?
So
Right.
I believe it comes down to like a monetary value. What does it
It's
cost?
okay.
Are they spending money? Is money involved?
Yeah.
And again, I would have to refer to our legal counsel for the specifics with that.
Are there some guidelines that perhaps we can have around that
Guidelines for,
regarding how that works, like with sponsorship and donors? So like as we're putting together our budget, it's kind of
Yeah.
helpful to know how sponsorship dollars can be incorporated into that without, it's still abiding by our laws.
so again, sponsorships, that would constitute as a donation. And
Okay,
that's
so
something
fall
that I would
under that
have
same-
to,
Run by legal.
yeah, because I am unfamiliar with that
Okay.
law. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Gallagher, do you have?
Clarifying question. So let's say we are working on a wonderful project. It's February 2026, and we have figured out the budget, and we've got our ducks in a row, and we would present this recommendation to the board. Do we still have to wait for the funds do we have to wait until October for the funds?
So each commission will have a budget. When they want to utilize money from their budget for events or what have you, this is something where then you would just do the formal recommendation, make sure that the chair is working with village staff and the board liaison to say that we want to use X amount of dollars from our budget for this. That way, then, once, let's just say you need to buy a piece of something from Amazon, okay, and that's part of the budget, you can do things like that, is that the village has an Amazon account, they have all sorts of accounts there. Once you make that recommendation that you want to use that money from your budget to purchase something, then, as long as it gets to the staff liaison, they could submit it right away and purchase it for you.
Okay, and what I meant to ask was, if we already exhausted those funds, so I'll use July, do we still, and let's say we have this new project in July, we've already exhausted our funds, we've done good work for the village, and do we have to wait for October? Because you said we could present a recommendation anytime throughout the year.
No, you don't have to wait to the next budget year to receive the money. Again, when it comes to budgeting, planning is important, it's essential. So this commission hasn't been established for very long. So next year, moving into 2027, this is when I would task the commission with future planning. what are some of the things that you see the commission wanting to do, wanting to be involved in that way? So that way, when you submit your request for the 2027 budget, we can understand that and allow that increase if necessary. However, back to your original question is that if you're in July and you've already went through your entire budget, but you commission need to increase it by $200 or whatever it might be for something necessary for your role as a commissioner or as the role of the commission itself, that's when then you just put it in a formal recommendation to the board. The board votes on it and then said, yeah, we'll give you that extra $200 right as soon as it's approved by the board.
Thank you.
And those are all just examples of.
Go ahead, Commissioner Smith.
So saying, and with the strategic planning session that we did have
Yes.
on November 6th, and we identified 3 areas.
Yes, we
So I
did.
would think that we've already kind of, because we, like you said, we were just formed officially, like our first meeting was end of August. So we really haven't been together that long. But I would think we already have started that process,
Yes.
and we can take those 3 areas or items that we agreed upon, and that's, I don't think
That's-
Julia and Bill was included, but, and then start forming a budget around that.
Yeah.
Then that way we aren't reinventing the wheel, because we already
Excellent.
have identified kind of
Thank
what we
you.
want to focus on.
Great. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
Okay. So at this point, I think we should get into planning. Well, let's see. Let me rephrase my point here. Our agenda is moving us into commissioner comments. So why don't we do that first, and then we'll proceed to work through the agenda, because it's already almost 20 after 8. So Commissioner Smith, do you want to go first?
I have no additional comments at this time.
Okay, Commissioner Gallagher.
I have no additional comments at this time.
Okay. So our next, point 10 is chairman comments, and basically, I think that we talked about a number of different things this evening. We have this December 15th deadline to deal with in terms of proposing budgets, numbers for next year. President Patrick has given us an outline of how the process works. I think that we have to consider our next meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting for December is what date?
The 18th, I think.
The 18th?
Friday before the holiday. No, it's
Is it the third Thursday?
a Thursday,
Yeah, so that would be the 18th.
December 18th.
Okay, so we need, God,
I know.
I'm thinking we need to change our meeting date. And I don't know if that's, it's like in order to propose a number to bring to bring to the board
We don't have to meet.
before the 15th, we need to change our meeting date to a date that will allow us to discuss these budget numbers, which would put us at the 11th.
This search.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my understanding that President Patrick was saying that we didn't have to meet to discuss the numbers before, like it maybe just be one-on-one, if I'm not mistaken, and that we would be allocated a pot of money, but we didn't necessarily have to have a formal meeting to discuss it.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a formal meeting to discuss what you want in or out of your budget. You guys can do a lot of research and a lot of the background work outside of a meeting. It's just, making sure that we're adhering to the Open Meetings Act and making sure that there's no more than 2 people in any kind of meeting. That includes text messages, emails, social media threads, phone calls, like a group call. But yes, to your point, you can absolutely take care of this outside of a meeting.
Okay, and then we'll keep our next Garden Village meeting for December 18th.
Clarification.
At 7 o'clock. And we will hammer out the details for our agenda. I guess what I want to basically ask for is if you have ideas for agenda items, that you should send them to me so that we can make sure that they hit the agenda, so that we can have a useful meeting, so that we can get to all these details. There's a lot of stuff.
Just clarification.
It's 7 o'clock. Okay, trustee Commissioner Gallagher.
Just
go
want to
ahead.
make sure it's December 15th is the deadline for the budget for the village. Is that true? Okay, so,
December 15th is the deadline where the village has to approve and adopt the village budget completely.
okay,
What I'm going to say is that if you're talking about the numbers for the commission that you're going to request, I would ask that you have that done this week or early next week, so that
Okay.
way we can make sure that those get into the budget process that's currently happening right now.
Okay.
If you were to wait till any day before the 15th, it won't be on that.
okay.
Okay, so we need, so are you suggesting then that we need to submit budget numbers to you by what, the 28th?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, well, I think getting the outline of if the budgeting process is already moving along and the village is already thinking of a $5,000 number, that gives us the opportunity to use that number as just a baseline for our budgeting for '26, and then basically to incubate how we're gonna move through to plan for the rest of the year. Okay?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, you're okay there? Okay. Yeah,
Final point. She's trying to say something.
I know we're on number 10, but I just received a text from Renee. May I read it?
Sure.
can you hold off?
Yes,
Because,
totally.
let's wrap up, we're at commissioner comments, so let's, hang on.
Chairman comments, right? Your comments.
No, you're in the.
Number 10.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to restate then, so for budgeting purposes, that we need to, if you have ideas for what you want to work on for the coming '26 year, that, that we get these ideas submitted
Yep.
as soon as possible, so that we can present it to the board and to the staff, so they can have numbers to work with. Okay, are we okay on that?
Yes.
Okay, then, okay, so we don't have our board liaison.
Excuse me.
Oh, we have Kevin here, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
In terms of Go ahead, President
Oh,
Patrick.
okay. So the only thing that I have is earlier today, we had a resident, Miss Emmert, come in and talk about the 2 trees that were removed off of the property line between the Villa Park Recreation Center and the backyard of her home there. And she had made a request that we look into replacing those 2 trees. And I just wanted to say that that is something that the village absolutely can do. This commission in particular can also make those types of recommendations to the village board. One of the things that I really tried to push at the end of last year when I was a trustee was the village should be planting more trees and not cutting them down. Over the last few years here, we've cut down some significantly old trees. And instead of cutting more down, we should be planting more. So if at any point this commission feels that there's an area or a need, whether that be one tree or many, or in specific areas, those are all absolutely part of this commission's purview, so you can more than be free to discuss that and make any kind of formal recommendations to the board. But more towards the residents' concern is that I will bring this up to staff to see if we cannot get a couple of trees replaced for where the older ones were taken down. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sure that hopefully the residents will review this on YouTube and be able to see your comments and know that there was a fix on the way. Commissioner Gallagher, let's go back to you. Did you want to go ahead and read Renee's text?
Well, it was to the whole garden commission. If you'd like to read it out loud, you can too.
Okay. Okay, so this is,
Just a point of order, really quick. Does this have anything to do pertaining to something that's specific on the agenda that we're discussing right now?
only in no, it's not an agenda.
Okay, if not, then I would hold that discussion till a
Thank
later
you.
time.
Okay.
Okay. And it's probably very pertinent. Thank you. Okay, so we don't have village staff comments. So we are at agenda. I'm sorry, last point on the agenda would be adjournment. So can we get a motion for an adjournment?
Commissioner Smith, I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Commissioner Gallagher, second the motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? I hear none. So, meeting's adjourned at 8:29 on November 20th, 2025. Garden Village Commission over and out. Thank you.